And I do not want this distributed on the website. I was not aware of that before.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our CIL Emergency Preparedness 2021 webinar. We have special guests from Brace Be Ready Alliance with Lindsay Leiders and Michelle Luckett. Michelle is the CEO and Lindsay is the VISTA Training Coordinator. And then we have Diana Tift. She is our Emergency Preparedness Coordinator here at CIL and also our awesome admin. We also have Stacy Lawrence. She is our interpreter. So thank you all for joining us. I'm going to share my screen so you can see our presentation. Here at CIL, our mission is to promote, educate, facilitate, and assist and advocate with on behalf of people with disabilities in partnership with their communities to achieve their goals for independence. We do serve Escambia County, Santa Rosa County, Okaloosa, and Walton counties as well. Our 5 core services include individual and systems advocacy, information and referral, independent living skills, peer counseling and mentoring, transition services. And the other programs and activities that we offer is an assistive technology program through FAST, amplified telephone program through FTRI. We do offer equipment loans at no charge, social and recreational activities, support groups, community education, and training. We are regional consultants for all 5 titles of the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA. Proudly reaching people with disabilities, of course, in the 4 counties again of Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton. And we're located in Pensacola at 3600 North Pace Boulevard. And right now our office is running by appointment only. You can email us for general information at info@cilnwf.org, or you can visit us on our website at www.cilnwf.org. Today we're going to talk about 4 pieces of information that you're going to need in order to be prepared for pretty much any emergency that comes along in the state of Florida. So those 4 pieces are how to prepare, what to do during the storm, the aftermath and damage assessment that comes after it's all over, and resources that are out there to help you make claims or get your home and your space back to normal. So now let's talk about how to prepare. You want to start by gathering supplies. And Diana and I have an example of a kit to show you. But you're going to want in your kit, you're going to have 3 types of kits. You're going to have one for home, one for work, and one to keep in your car. But your home kit is going to be your main kit. That's going to be your big kit. It's going to have food and water. It's going to have supplies typically for 3 to 7 days. But really, you should be planning out at least a week or more. Don't even think about that 3 days. Because in the current state of events here in our country, emergency management could be longer getting to you. So you're going to want to prepare for 7 days or more. You want to have a designated place for easy access to your kit. Your work kit should be in one small container. It should also contain food and water. It should contain some clothing. It should contain some shoes. Because you may, we women wear those high heels sometimes to work. You're going to need comfortable shoes. You should always have a sweater or a coat or an extra layer for weather conditions. In your car, same thing, food and water. Have a first aid kit. Flares are very important. That's a way for people to find you if they need to. Jumper cables are a must. And the seasonal supplies, depending on the season that you're in your area. Important emergency info. The next few slides are going to show some forms that you should keep in your emergency kit. These pertain to people with disabilities specifically, but anybody can use them. And first of all, this first sheet is your general information. This has your contact info, who you are, your medical conditions, so that people know right away if you're in an emergency situation and need to be treated, they should know what your main conditions are. Your allergies, your sensitivities, equipment and assistive technologies. Be sure to list your vendors and phone numbers for your equipment in case something malfunctions and you need to get a replacement. Special care instructions. Your legal document. Do you have a will? Do you know the location of your will? Healthcare provider of attorney, and so on. The next is your family members living in the home with you. This is a list of everybody that is with you so that you have everybody together and you should stay together in an emergency. This contains emergency phone numbers for your local police, fire, EMS, hospital, and your utility companies. Your primary care physician should be included on this form. Now, this particular form is the sheet to record all of your equipment and all of the things that you need in order to function for your daily living. And so you should keep track of that on this form. And all of these forms should be put in a airtight, watertight bag in your kit and update them whenever you have a change. You should always update your emergency kit. Don't forget information that FEMA will require to make a claim. Your identifying info, like your birth certificate, your passport, or social security card. Your homeowner's insurance information and mortgage information should be given. And here is a great example of, if you look at my camera, look at me instead of the presentation, keep them in an airtight, watertight container. This zips tight and it has all your paperwork in there. Financial records. You should have a supply of cash on hand because if electricity is out, ATMs are not going to be available. So you should always have a supply of cash. Credit cards will not work. A lot of times, if the electricity's out, the internet's going to be out, you won't be able to use any type of plastic. Have available funds on a credit or debit card if you should need to travel. If you're going to evacuate or leave the area, you should have those things with you. Keep a list of all your financial accounts with your emergency kit. Secure your home. If you have hurricane shutters that you need to install, the minute that a storm is announced that it's in the area or going to be coming, you should be readying your residence for the emergency. Don't wait. Securely store all of your outdoor objects, your furniture, your lawn equipment, anything loose that could be blown over. Get it into a storage area or get it close to the house tied down. An evacuation plan. If you decide that you're going to evacuate, do it early, be quick, and do it during daylight time. Do not do it at nighttime. Familiarize yourself with routes. You'll see the signs. There's a picture of an evacuation route sign on the slide, so you can look for those symbols and find your route. Have a plan for your pets. If you decide that you're going to go to a shelter, a pet can go with you, but you have to make arrangements for your pet. You can find shelter information at floridaevacuates.com. Next, we're going to talk about during the storm and what happens. Now, watch versus warning. There's two different warnings and two different watches. Now, there's tropical storm watch, a hurricane watch, a tropical storm warning, and a hurricane warning. There are differences. So a watch means that it's coming and you have time to prepare. Once the warning is here, you should already be prepared and you should have your decisions made on what you're going to do. Are you going to shelter in place? Are you going to get to a shelter, etc.? Sheltering in place. Prepare your home. Plan for all occupants, including your pet. Fill gas tanks and charge all your devices. Make sure you have food, batteries, and supplies for a minimum of 1 week or more. Emergency repair supplies should be also included. Tarps, anything you might need for afterwards. Evacuation. If you decide to evacuate, this is where your car kit is going to come in handy. It'll already be in your car. Gather that kit, make sure it's there. Call all of your emergency contacts and let them know your plan. If you've decided to evacuate, your contacts need to know where you are at all times during the storm. This is important for people with disabilities. What if you didn't get to your destination? Your family or your contacts should know exactly what route you're taking, when you're leaving, and you should contact them again when you arrive at your destination. Ready your pets. Are you going to kennel them? Are you going to take them with you? Are you going to board them somewhere else? These are the things that you'll need to think about involving your pets. Follow your evacuation route. Shelters should be a last resort. Most shelters are accessible for the disabled population. Check before you go, or as you're preparing for the season, you can get the list of available shelters and make sure that they're accessible. Follow all shelter rules. Know that no weapons or prohibited substances will be allowed at any of the shelters. Do you need a special needs shelter? This is something that you're going to have to decide early and decide what action that you're going to take should you need a special needs shelter. Now, not everyone with a disability needs to go to a special needs shelter. You will have to assess your own personal needs, and you can call for assistance. You can call the CIL, you can call BRACE, you can call emergency management, or go to the website and seek more information about how to make that decision. Special needs shelters. Contact emergency management for locations. Referrals to medical facilities can be made when you're at the emergency shelter, should they need to be made. Transportation may be provided. It is not promised, but it is a possibility. Electricity is available for medical equipment only. Others that have equipment that needs to be plugged in will not be allowed to use the electricity because it must be conserved for people with disabilities that have medical equipment. Now, caregivers will receive assistance once all of the special needs are taken care of for the person with a disability. The aftermath and damage assessment. Your damage assessment you're going to do once you're able to return home, which may take a few days. You're going to want to look at what damage your home has, make a list of what you can see. Don't dig through things and, things could shift. It's very dangerous. So just do a general assessment. Insurance tips. As we talked about before, your insurance information should be included in your kit. So use that information and contact your insurance company. Assistance programs. FEMA will have assistance programs. There may be programs available for the county that you live in as well. Those usually are announced around the time that the hurricane or whatever the emergency is has passed. So you'll want to watch news, you'll want to watch any social media outlets and other resources for that information. Be on the lookout for insurance fraud. Once a disaster happens, you may start to receive phone calls of possible people offering services and offering other resources at a cost. And they may be trying to get your identity information and steal your identity. So be aware of who you're talking to and what they're offering, and check into it before you make any promises with any companies. Resources and information. For Escambia, we've listed here on this slide the website that you can go to. It's the myescambia.com /our services /public safety /be ready to get more information in Escambia County. Now, the emergency management phone number is 850-471-6400. Currently, the special needs shelter is West Florida High School, and it's buildings 9, 25, and 26. In Santa Rosa, the website is santarosa.fl.gov/666/emergency-management. The emergency management phone number is 850-983-5360. And the special needs shelter in Santa Rosa is Russell Elementary and Sims Middle School. In Okaloosa County, they also have a website. Theirs is www.co.ufl.ps/emergency-management. Their phone number is 850-651-7150. And in Okaloosa County, their special needs shelter is Davidson Middle School. For Walton County, their website is www.walton.fl.us/1063/emergency-management. Their emergency management phone number is 850-892-8065. Their special needs shelter is Freeport High School and Walton Middle Schools. One special note to make you aware of is that we are going to have a area code change. So be sure to check these phone numbers and make sure if there was any change in area code that you make note. Disaster assistance is available through the federal government and through state governments. And these phone numbers are on their website, but the federal number for disaster assistance is 1-800-621-3362. Our Florida number for the state of Florida is 850-815-4000. In Florida, we do have a special needs registry, so you can register if you have a disability or have a special need of any type at floridadisaster.gov. It has instructions and it explains what the registry does and how it works. And some counties do require pre-registration. Here is some mobile apps that may help during a storm. Florida Storms will keep you updated. That's an emergency management app that will keep you updated as to what the current status of the storm is. Gas Buddy, you can find gas anywhere. It will have the prices, it will have location, and who has gas. Of course, FEMA has its own app. You can make claims. You can find out information about what is offered for disaster assistance. And then, of course, you have your money apps like Cash App and Venmo and PayPal. Also, Zelle, Z-E-L-L-E, is a great app to use to send money back and forth through family at no cost. A lot of your banking institutions use Zelle. Now I'm going to introduce to you Diana Tift. She's our disaster specialist and our admin assistant, and she is going to hop on and say hello and tell you a little bit about what she does. So Di?
Hey everyone, hi, hope everyone's doing good. And I hope you've enjoyed the presentation so far. I know a lot of you are thinking about the hurricane preparedness soon, so I hope that this will be a good experience with that. It's not fun, but it's some things that we have to think about to have a backup plan so that you are prepared.
Thanks, Di. Di and I put together a wonderful kit that is a great example of some of the things that you should have in your kit at home. And we do have, of course, your paper goods and some plastic cups that are reusable, because we don't want to have to keep using a whole bunch of cups that may run out. So get some plastic cups and plastic utensils to use. Batteries are really important. This particular item, let me end my screen so that you can see me better for just a moment. Okay, here is a battery pack. This is for cell phones and other devices that don't require regular batteries. This is for rechargeable. It has ports on the end for USB and for universal micro port as well. We have, of course, our hand sanitizers and soap. You can get these soap sheets from the store, and they are just a piece of paper. It looks like a piece of paper, but this is actually soap. You put it in your hand, add water, and rub it together. That's that standard soap. And of course, we have our hand sanitizer. You should always have a case of water for each person per day that you are sheltering with, to make sure that you have enough hydration for at least a week. It's better to have more than less. Flashlights are very important. Make sure that you have fresh batteries and continually check your batteries and change them out. Even if your kit has sat for a long time, you don't want to go grab your kit and not have good batteries. So always have a flashlight, maybe more than one would be good. First aid kit for anything that might happen during the storm. If something, breaks or drops, or you have to walk through debris, you want to make sure that you are prepared with a first aid kit so that you can address those minor issues, and hopefully they stay minor right away. So then there's no infection that can get set in. Of course, you want to have your medicines. If you're diabetic, make sure that you have your supplies, your insulin, your lancets, any supplies that you need that need to go with you. People with disabilities, we have all kinds of medications and all kinds of devices that we use on a daily basis. So make sure that you are prepared to have, if you can have a backup, great. If you can't, make sure that you have your current stuff with you and it goes with you wherever you go. Masks may be important. These, you should have a supply of these in your kits. You never know when you might need those to remain safe. It's good to have easy snacks. Dry goods are good. Some candy, some healthy things, some healthy bars would be good. Things that you can grab easily, that you don't have to cook, that you don't have to worry about contamination. Don't forget your standard batteries. Have all sizes available because you don't know what you might need. So you should have a variety of sizes available for all devices. And that concludes what we have in our kit currently with us. Now, of course, this isn't all-inclusive. These are just some examples of what to put in your kit. So now I'm going to turn the presentation.
Hey, I wanted to add one thing. I also want to mention, right now with solar being so popular, you can find solar charges, things like that. And, maybe take an opportunity now to look for those kind of things, because batteries can be expensive. With technology going more towards a solar base, just try now to look for those kind of chargers and things that could be useful.
That's great advice.
Yeah. And also, just, under some other tips, just even at the Dollar Tree, I've seen solar lights there. That's only $1. And just to have those available in case you need lighting would be a really good tip.
That's a great tip, Di. Thanks for sharing those. Okay, I'm going to turn the time over to Michelle Luckett, our CEO of Brace, and Lindsay Leiter.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? All right, Joanna, when you're ready, go ahead.
Okay, I am going to get that up here. Okay, I think we're ready.
All right, so I'm not going to take a lot of time today because you've been given a lot of wonderful information already. But I think what's most important is that being prepared is really about knowledge. It's about what you know. So Joanne, if you can go to the next slide. So I've broken this down in a couple of areas that will make it simple for you to remember. Number one is that knowledge is the key to preparation. So the first thing is you need to know your zone. If you're a homeowner or you're in an apartment, you need to look up your address with Escambia County to see which evacuation zone you're in. There's A, B, C, D, and E. And as well as you need to look for the impacts of the storm surge in your neighborhood. It's not just about the evacuation before the storm, but what about the storm surge during it? So know your zone. The second thing is know your home. Is your home prepared for a hurricane? With COVID-19, your safest place may be at home instead of a shelter. So going back to those wonderful slides that talked about hanging shutters and knowing your windows and understanding water intrusion areas will be very important to making sure you're prepared if you decide to stay home. The third one is know your plan. How will you assemble your family and loved ones and anticipate where you will go for different situations? A tornado situation may lend itself to one type of assembly, whereas a hurricane may be something completely different. You want to talk this through beforehand to make sure you know how to gather those that you love. Next slide. Another area is to stay informed, and you see we put the little transistor radio up there. Know where to go for your trusted information during a hurricane event. Sign up for the alerts with the Escambia County government or Escambia County Emergency Management. So the notifications will go to your phone via a text message or an email. Determine your risk. Find out today what types of wind and water hazards could happen where you live, and then start to prepare based upon how to handle them. So if you're in an area that's surrounded by trees, then you definitely know you need storm shutters, and you need to have preparations in place to deal with storm debris afterwards. These type of decisions need to be made ahead of time. And then probably the one thing that people forget to do the most is to get an insurance checkup. Call your insurance company or your agent and ask for an insurance checkup to make sure you have enough homeowners insurance to cover your repairs or even replace your home. Most people forget to do that. Similarly, when it talks about insurance, as we go into storm season, you need to take pictures or videos of every room in your house, documenting on the video what possessions you will keep behind should you decide to evacuate. Again, that's information that goes towards your FEMA claim as well as your insurance claim. Next slide. Probably the most important thing you can do for yourself and your loved ones is to prepare for the hurricane season before it happens, when you have the time and you're not under pressure. If you wait until a hurricane is on your doorstep, the odds are you will be under duress and will make the wrong decisions. Take the time now to write down your plan. And those are the helpful tips that we've got from Brace, in addition to what our friends at CIL have put together for you.
Thank you, Michelle. We're so glad that you and Lindsay have partnered with us to present this information to our community and get them ready for the hurricane season. We did receive information via email today that the tax-free time to prepare for your hurricane will begin on May the 28th. So you'll want to begin to prepare now so that you have your items in place should we experience a disaster. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to Stacy Lawrence, our interpreter, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, Di, for your input. It was very valuable. Everyone have a great day.